I'm Chris Smith with Delta Media Group and Real Estate Marketing and Technology Magazine. Today, we're talking with the Florida Executive Realty team about how using the Golden Rule shapes the path for the company and some of the exciting things ahead in 2023. Thanks for joining me today, everybody.
Thanks for having us.
So let me start off with the beginning. What is the history behind Florida Executive Realty and how was it founded?
Well, Chris, I'd love to tell you it was a grand plan of some sort that I strategized over months, if not years, but really it was more of an opportunity meeting an adequate amount of preparation. And somebody said, "Hey, you want to start a company?" And I said, "Well, yeah, why not?" It was 1992, so it's 3 decades in the past. And there were just 2 of us at the time, myself and my assistant. So out of those somewhat humble beginnings, we've grown over the years. We have 6 offices now. There's about 200 of us, agents and staff. So in the real estate world of today, that's not all that big of a company. When you have companies that measure themselves in thousands and tens of thousands, and startlingly enough, hundreds of thousands of agents, having a couple of hundred seems like almost a boutique firm. And I still think of us in that regard. But 30 years ago today, we're still focused on the same sort of guiding philosophical lights. You mentioned earlier the Golden Rule, and we're going to talk about that here in a few. But it's allowed us to grow in a very measured, planned way. I still like going to work every day, so I still have fun with what we do. And by the way, that original person, the other one that started with me, still with us. Her name is Michelle Weinhold, and she is now over 3 decades of hanging out with me. She's the general manager of our whole company. She's not on today's call. She's busy working while we're gallivanting with you here on video. But so that's how it started, and it's been a fun ride for 3 decades.
Well, you talk about 3 decades. Over the past 30 years, Florida Executive Realty has seen quite a bit of growth, like you mentioned. What are some of those factors that you attribute to the growth, not only the growth, but the success as well?
I think it's pretty clear to me that we were never focused on growth, at least not numerical growth. The focus was always on excellence in service, excellence in education, excellence, quite frankly, Chris, in just raising the overall profile of the profession, what I and people in our company and many others do for a living, to that of other highly regarded and well-respected professions. So the focus was always quality first, quantity, and only if it naturally followed it. So we stayed focused in that regard. We were then, we are now. And the Golden Rule part, which became part of our mission statement, I wrote back in '95, allowed us to stay focused in the right direction and treating people like we want to be treated, under the belief that if we could conduct ourselves that way, day in, day out, all human failings acknowledged, then we could ultimately be in a place to earn the trust, friendship, and repeat business of our clients and the respect of our peers. And I would say, as a businessman of more than 30 years, that's a sweet spot in any business. I'm happy to tell you, I think we occupy that spot here in the Tampa Bay area.
Doug, I've been on your website digging through it. It looks like you have a great team in front of you. I know that you follow the Golden Rule as your philosophy. How does that philosophy affect the way you and those agents do business?
Well, I think the idea behind it is simply that if we were in need of professional service and advice, whether it was medical advice or legal advice, maybe we were getting audited by the IRS, man, would we want that accountant to be giving us great advice, right? So here we are in a position to help people, almost always in a time of change in their life. Whatever the change, sometimes is happy, sometimes it's sad, almost always full of anxiety and uncertainty. And so taking that Golden Rule and saying, if we were the customer, right, how would we want to be cared for? Would we want somebody that was highly knowledgeable, fully tuned in to what's happening today, and that was committed to putting our interest as the client first and their interest as the agent second? I think if we believe we would want that, surely we would be about the business of delivering that. And so the Golden Rule is our guiding philosophy, number one. The second one is kind of a corollary, and that is clients come first, commissions come second. Every day, every deal, all the time. That's the only way to do this business, I think, in a relationship format where we are working to develop clients over decades, family, friends, their friends, who naturally want to refer people they care about to people that will care about them. So that's how it's played in every day. And by the way, we talk about it every day. You saw it on our website, and it's in some of our marketing pieces. But honestly, Chris, until that belief gets into your head far enough to get into your heart far enough to actually come out in your words and your deeds, then maybe it's just window dressing, right? I don't want it to be that in this company. I want it to be for real and play out for real on a day-to-day basis.
Doug, you feel like that separates Florida Executive Realty apart from the competition?
I'd like to say that all of those in my profession would see it in a similar fashion, but quite frankly, I don't think that's true. And I do think it does separate us. Not that I think many companies wouldn't say something like that, but it's the doing it, it's the key. It's the actual living it out. As remember, all human failings acknowledged, right? We're not perfect. I say dumb stuff. I do dumb stuff. Sometimes we get it wrong, but it needs to be accidental, inadvertent, unintended. Not, you know what? I knew that was going to hurt you, and I did it to you anyway. And I think there is a point of distinction, not only with how we think about it, but actually how we do what we do. Commission first and client second is all too prevalent. I don't think many people would admit it, but that's what their actions show, right? But a client first and commission second, saying it's one thing, doing it's something else. And I mean for our company to do it day in, day out. So yeah, I think there's a point of distinction there.
Well, earlier I mentioned your team and what a great team it looked like you had on board. To achieve the level of success that you've had, you have to have quality agents and several top performers. What are some of those qualities you look for when you're recruiting new agents?
I'm going to ask Connor Lloyd to address that issue. And part of what you're going to see next, Chris, and your viewers will see next is the second generation leadership and ownership of this company. So a decidedly more youthful look than me. And so, Connor, if you're prepared for that answer, why don't you go ahead and answer Chris's question?
Hey, Chris, I appreciate you having us on. Yeah, so what we've seen kind of best outcome for most successful agents are generally the ones who are most plugged into their communities, ones who are out there every day talking to people, whether that be in charities, parent-teacher associations, chamber of commerce, Rotary, or any other like social groups. Those are generally people who can go out there, talk to people who are moving and shaking stuff, and are the ones who can be full-time without like changing their lifestyle, but are able to ultimately talk to enough people to do that much business is generally what it takes.
Well, it's tough to find really good agents. Like we said, the recruiting process for everyone seems to be a little different. What does that look like at Florida Executive Realty?
So actually, early on in the company, about 50% of the company was made up of past clients. Interestingly, that, through general rapport with people we've worked with and overall reputation in the market, it's actually attracted the majority of the agents that we have now. Our training is robust, and actually, we're happy to say that a number of our top producers are homegrown, people who started out, just got their licenses, coached them up, and then through some hard work on their end and a little perseverance, they ended up becoming as successful as they ever wanted to be in the business.
Well, you mentioned training, and it's obvious that making sure you provide effective training is very important to you. Can you tell me what's involved in training some of the new hires?
Yeah, so we have training for agents of all levels, whether you're the new agent, just got your license, or you're the agent coming in doing 20 or 30 million a year, we have something to teach them as well. And as far as like our new agents, we have our Start Gold program, which is like a 1-month blitz effectively to get them off the ground, talking to people, learning the contract, learning how to negotiate the contract, and ultimately try to get them their first deal in that first month or their first client so they can kind of carry that momentum with them. Is pretty key to getting them going. And as for all of our agents, we have our Agent Accelerator program, which closely mirrors the Ninja Selling kind of mindset on basically growing your business. And we've seen a lot of success with our agents who've implemented the thoughts and processes that they go about in there.
Well, training is the beginning of the first steps of getting to the goal line, it seems like, and a lot of it is support after the training. What are some of the ways that you provide support for your agents after the training process is complete?
Hey, Chris,
Yeah.
Paulina, I'm going to answer this one for you. Thanks for having us on. So as you know, there's so many facets of real estate and something new every single day. Our brokers and managers are always on site at the offices, or we're just a phone call away to help the agents, new agents, or experienced with advice and guidance. We have experienced agents there for new hires to shadow and mentor them after training is complete, so they can get the hands-on experience. So for example, like open houses or shadowing them at listing consults, or even helping them with their marketing, sharing and collaborating that way. At FER, we provide year-round SEAL training, which is focused on teaching, training, and coaching for agents, teams, and brokers. That includes ongoing business planning, coaching, and support for like grad school level learning to just kind of make their real estate knowledge all around broader and greater, and just keep learning. And then we have weekly business meetings in office led by our broker, Doug, to stay in tune with the real estate market. And that includes local and national statistics and any changing laws. And I feel like our agents are supported by their peers and our staff, and we encourage one another while striving for excellence.
Well, as a company, what were the key factors in your decision to work with Delta Media Group over all of the other technology providers that are out there?
So I'll take this one. I'm Shannon. Thanks so much for having us. Delta came at a great time for us as far as an opportunity for us to consolidate a number of our technology platforms and upgrade them at the same time. So with our website, our CRM, our marketing, it took a number of pieces and brought them together for us and for our agents. One less login is amazing. All the while upgrading it for ourselves, upgrading our website, our SEO, our overall content, and for our agents to be able to have that has been, that was a really key factor in being able to partner with Delta.
So how has the relationship and tools and resources that we provided at Delta benefited you at Florida Executive Realty?
So a couple of different things. I think the CRM, it has been really great for our agents. It's comprehensive, but easy enough for them to use, while also integrating some of the AI with the My Customer for Life program, which is just fantastic. Also the automatic social postings really help our agents who know that they should be more active on social media, but maybe aren't great about actually doing it. That has really helped give them some consistency in that arena. And just the overall upgrade of the personal websites for the agents has been huge. They've really enjoyed that.
Well, since this is the February issue of Real Estate Marketing and Technology, and February is Super Bowl month, and Doug, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like you won the Super Bowl with that trophy in the background of your office there. The theme is all about
thank you
getting
for
ahead
noticing, by the way. Yes.
Yes, I saw it right away. So the theme is all about getting ahead of the competition, increasing market share, and making it to the real estate end zone, so to speak.
Every market has its advantages, and the last couple of years have had theirs, right? It's kind of been a crazy market, and with the transition, we have other opportunities. And so making sure that our agents really take advantage of that we lean into our teaching, training, and coaching for them to polish some skills that maybe they haven't had to use in a few years. Also, while reaching out to other agents in the marketplace who maybe don't have that same level of teaching, training, and coaching and can really benefit from it.
And how has technology come into play to help you achieve that?
So technology has been a great communicator for us. I think everyone over the past couple of years learned how much Zoom could do. And a CRM from us as a brokerage perspective has been huge as far as recruiting and consistency and the availability to communicate with our agents clearly and in a consistent manner.
So what are some of the goals that Florida Executive Realty has for 2023?
So I'll take a shot at that, Chris. Certainly our goal in an ongoing way, as I mentioned earlier, is the pursuit always of excellence first and growth as it naturally follows. I would see the market shift that Shannon just mentioned very likely presenting opportunities for us to either acquire another company here locally by merger, acquisition, or just find the right space, the right real estate for our expansion, potentially office number 7. And certainly I could live the rest of my career at the size we are and be happy about it. But opportunities come in all shapes and sizes and in all market conditions. And so we're likely to find the opportunity in 2023 to grow. And as long as the growth that is numerical is preceded by growth that's focused on excellence and the collaborative and sharing culture that we all enjoy, part of why I still like coming to work every day is the people I get the blessing of hanging around with, quite frankly. We're all sort of on the same team and pulling the same direction. And believing that the power of incremental change, as we look at every operation we do, processes, teaching, training, and coaching. I think Paulina mentioned our SEAL training, kind of an overarching name. It was kind of my attempt to pick up a name. Larry Kendall took ninja selling, and I thought, how cool is that? Maybe we could be like Tampa Ninjas or Florida Ninjas. But you know what? At the end of the day, SEAL training, and that acronym for us stands for Service, Education, Advocacy, and Leadership. And there's an overarching umbrella, if you will, over the 8 separate parts of our teaching, training, and coaching, which go anywhere from what I might call real estate elementary school to full real estate grad school, doing predictive, descriptive, and prescriptive analytics, walking through the numbers of our market in depth. And quite honestly, for some, maybe more depth than they're interested in, right? As much as I'm out there in the market as a broker and a business owner, looking for some people that want to join us. I know not everybody's looking for me, not looking for us, not looking for that level of excellence. Because quite frankly, you can probably get by with less, but I'm not looking to get by. I'm trying to set my agents up for a win and then a big win. And I think that 23 will be a continued and a renewed effort to upgrade and update every portion of our SEAL training, our processes, our paperwork, our paperless work, all the things that go into being proper business people, along with being proper real estate brokers and agents, is all on the table for a constant review, essentially seeking out mediocrity wherever we find it and replacing it with client first excellence, day in, day out. And if 23 brings us those things, those opportunities, we'll be in fine shape. So
you talk about getting that big win, and it is Super Bowl month. So here comes the big pass to the end zone. Are there any new exciting plans or initiatives in the works at Florida Executive Realty that you want to mention to us that we haven't asked you about?
One of the initiatives that we have really been focused on the last year and more in 23 and 24 is making our marketing a 4th center of excellence in our company. We really believe that we have 3 current centers of excellence. That would be our client relationships, the way that we serve our clients. That would be our training, our teaching, coaching programs. I believe they're top notch and can take anyone where they want to go in this business. And our collaborative nature within our company. I don't have a top producer that isn't willing to sit with a new agent and talk about any way they want to do this business. But marketing has never been one of our strengths. And so turning that into a 4th center of excellence for us is something we are focused on. And Delta was a step for us in that in 22. And so we hope to continue that in 23, continuing to make that a 4th center of excellence for us.
Well, that's certainly true. That was something I actually announced at our annual awards dinner. We call it the Celebration of Excellence a couple of years back. And it's not something I'm comfortable that we can ever reach as a sort of a final destination, but we can be pursuing it actively and aggressively. And if we can add that marketing, both at a company level and an agent level, Chris, to the point that we would consider it legitimately as a 4th center of excellence in this company, it makes us ever more powerful and present in our communities, and therefore bringing benefit to those that we get the opportunity to work with. So I certainly echo that opinion. And the other initiative is a little bit on display here in this video as a founder of the company and still the active broker and Jefe to some in this company. There comes a time when a younger voice, a younger attitude, a younger perspective brings ever more benefit. And so what you and your viewers are seeing on display pretty clearly here with Connor and Paulina and Shannon is just that, the second generation in ownership and leadership of this company. I mentioned earlier, I still like going to work every day. So it's not like I'm checking out tomorrow or next year or even 2 or 3 years from now. Not sure what I would do anyway, by the way. But having these three people, these three parts of this company at interval, thinking, working, fully engaged, fully committed to what makes this company, fully committed to the golden rule day in, day out, fully committed to client first, fully committed to educational and service excellence, and kind of being the good guys, if you will. And every day trying to elevate not only the real estate business, but business in general to a higher standard of expectations, right? I mean, I think all of us as consumers have gotten so used to not much, quite frankly, in the way of service and caring and concern when we're the consumer. And I'm focused like a laser beam on turning that around. Because when people come to us, I don't want them, I want them to go, wow, that was more than I was expecting. Matter of fact, I think that's more than I even paid for. That's an awesome way to leave somebody's thinking about what we just helped them accomplish, which was buying and selling the most expensive thing they will ever buy and sell, right? The American dream is still alive and well. And our opportunity as business people and agents on behalf of those people to help them accomplish that, act as consultants, educators, guides, and ultimately advocates when it's appropriate and beneficial to them, right? Hold their hands figuratively sometimes, hold your hand literally as we walk down that road together, trying to help them accomplish that goal. So how cool is that, Chris, that we get that opportunity to do that? And how cool is it that now 30 years have passed since I started this company, and I sit here with an opportunity to hear three people in this company besides me that believe in it, that care about it, and that can lead it confidently in the future. I'm pretty excited about that. And if there is anything at all to be excited and looking forward, not just 23, but beyond, those three people that shared this video with me, they're the reason why. So that's my answer to that question.
Well, Doug, I want to thank you and your entire team for spending some time to catch up with me today. Everyone at Delta Media Group wishes you nothing but the best. And we hope to check in with you down the line and talk about all the success that you have moving forward into 2023 and beyond. Sound good?
That sounds good to us.